I never thought betrayal could taste like wedding cake, sweet, cloying, laced with cyanide. My brother Ethan handed Victoria the keys to our family's crumbling empire on a silver platter, his eyes blind with that stupid, lovesick glow, while I stood in the shadows. The family fixer, the one who'd already buried one body to keep his secret safe. And when she ghosted us before the honeymoon limo even pulled away from the curb, she didn't just steal millions, she unearthed the skeleton I'd sunk in the East River 5 years ago, dragging me down with her into a revenge spiral that would make even the devil pause. The confetti was still settling on the marble floors of the Plaza Hotel when it hit me. This wasn't a runaway bride story. This was war.
Victoria, pois.
Porcelain-skinned viper with a Harvard MBA and a smile that could disarm a jury had played us like a bad hand of Texas Hold'em. Ethan, my baby brother by 3 years. The golden boy who'd inherited Dad's Wall Street shark instincts but none of the caution, had met her at some rooftop mixer in Soho 6 months ago. She's the one. Stell. He'd slurred over bourbon that night, his arms slung around her waist like she was a lifeline. Smart as hell. Hotter than a summer blackout. And she gets it, the grind, the game. I'd sized her up then. Over chilled oysters and the thump of EDM bleeding from hidden speakers. Blonde bob. Emerald eyes that lingered too long. A laugh like wind chimes in a hurricane. Charming.
Sure.
But something gnawed at me. A flicker in her gaze when Ethan mentioned the family trust, the one Dad had locked down tighter than Fort Knox after Mom's accident in the Hamptons. A yacht collision. The papers called it. Drunk driver, they said. But I'd seen the emails, the hushed calls. Dad's side hustle with offshore accounts. Mom's threats to blow it open. And Ethan? He'd been there that night. 17 and wild. Behind the wheel after too many lines of coke at a beach rave. I'd covered for him, switched the keys, took the blame for the party, even paid off the witness who saw him peel out. Family first, I'd whispered as I flushed the baggie down the yacht's head. The cops bought the story. The insurance paid out. But the guilt? That bitch clung like Jersey humidity. Victoria knew.
How?
That's what I'd unravel.
That be baludi that?
Because when she bolted, she didn't just wire transfer the inheritance, 10 mil in liquid assets, the penthouse deed, even the vintage Ferrari Dad left Ethan in his will. She left a digital breadcrumb trail straight to my doorstep. An anonymous tip to the NYPD cold case unit. Ask Stella Hargrove about the East River floater. Summer 20. She knows where the anchor is. I was nursing a black coffee in my Tribeca loft at 6 a.m. The next day when the feds knocked. Ethan was still passed out in the master suite upstairs, tucks rumpled like a bad dream, mumbling her name in his sleep.
Victoria.
Baby. The agents, 2 suits with that fedora-stiff demeanor, flashed badges, and a grainy photo of a bloated corpse pulled from the murk off Red Hook. Danny Russo, the lead, said, his voice like gravel under tires. Bookie. Loan shark. Turned up missing after a deal gone south with your old man. Ring any bells?
Yes.
Hargrove. My stomach flipped. But I played it cool, lawyer cool. The kind I'd honed defending white-collar assholes in mahogany panel courtrooms. Never heard of him. And if you're here about my brother's runaway wife, save it. We're handling it privately. They left with warnings about obstruction. But the damage was done. Ethan woke an hour later, hollow-eyed, scrolling her empty Instagram like a junkie chasing a fix. She wouldn't. Stell. She loved me. This has to be a mistake.
Love.
That word hung in the air like exhaust from an idling cab on Fifth Avenue. I wanted to shake him, scream that love doesn't siphon accounts via offshore Cayman shells or ghost you with a middle finger etched in blockchain. But I didn't. Instead, I brewed him espresso, laced with a splash of whiskey, our family band-aid, and started digging. By noon,
Ide Iratapi.
a grizzled ex-cop named Kowalski, who owed me from a bar fight in Hell's Kitchen years back. Track her phone, her Amex, her goddamn yoga app if you have to, I told him over burner phones in a diner off Canal Street. The kind with Formica counters sticky from decades of spills. And find out how she knew about Russo. Because that wasn't pillow talk. That was premeditation. Victoria hadn't stumbled on Ethan's confession during some post-coital heart-to-heart. She'd weaponized it. Kowalski called back at dusk, his voice a rasp over static. She's in Miami, holed up in a South Beach condo under a Shell Corp. VH.
Enter the.
Bought with your brother's dough. But get this, she's got ties to your pop's old crew.
Huso.
He was muscle for the same syndicate Dad skimmed from. And Victoria? Real name's Victoire Laurent. French-Canadian import with a juvie record in Montreal for fraud. Posed as an heiress to bag a tech bro last year, left him bankrupt and suicidal. The pieces slotted like a loaded revolver. Dad's accident wasn't clean. Mom's either. Victoria wasn't some gold digger. She was a ghost from our graveyard past. Sent to collect.
But by who?
The syndicate?
A rival?
Or worse, someone closer. Flipping the script on us both? That night, Ethan shattered. We were in the penthouse. City lights smearing the windows like abstract art gone wrong. He hurled the crystal decanter, Mom's heirloom, against the wall. Shards raining like brittle tears. I gave her everything. Stell. Power of attorney. The works. Said it was trust. His face crumpled. That boyish charm cracking into something feral. What if she's coming back? What if she tells them about? You know.
Huso.
The anchor. The lie that bound us. I'd sunk the bastard myself after he cornered Ethan post-yacht crash, demanding payback for Dad's debts with interest, in blood if needed. One swing of the dockside chain, a splash, and a concrete block for good measure. No one's telling, I said, pulling him into a hug that smelled of sweat and regret. But we're ending this. Tomorrow, we fly south. Confront the bitch. He nodded, but his eyes, those Hargrove blues, held a shadow I'd never seen.
Doubt.
Or was it calculation? In our family, lines blurred fast. Betrayal wasn't a bolt from the blue. It was the air we breathed, thick as the smog over the Hudson. We touched down in Miami at dawn, the humid slap of Florida air hitting like a wet rag. Rented a sleek black Escalade, anonymous, armored, and cruised Ocean Drive, past pastel Art Deco facades hiding sin stickier than the salt on the breeze. Kowalski's intel pinned her at a high-rise called the Atlantis. 22nd floor. Corner unit with a view of nothing but blue lies. Ethan fidgeted in the passenger seat, popping Xanax like Tic-Tacs. What do we say?
Hey.
Honey, give back the fortune or else? Or else, I echoed, parking in the shadows of a palm-lined alley. We rode the elevator in silence, the mirrored walls reflecting a brother-sister duo dressed for war, me in black leather and boots, him in a linen shirt unbuttoned to hide the tremor in his hands. The doors dinged open to a hallway carpeted in luxury hush, doors numbered like vaults.
Hers was ajar. Sloppy.
Or bait. I pushed in first, gun tucked in my waistband, unregistered, courtesy of a contact in Queens. The place reeked of jasmine and fresh betrayal, takeout boxes from Joe's Stone Crab, silk robes draped over chaise lounges, a laptop humming on the glass coffee table. And there she was, Victoria, perched on the balcony railing in a barely there bikini, legs dangling over the drop to the pool deck 20 stories below. She didn't turn, just sipped a mimosa, the sunrise gilding her like a fallen angel. "Ethan, darling," she purred, voice carrying on the breeze. "You found me." How romantic. He froze in the doorway, a deer in her spotlight. I stepped forward, heart pounding like bass from a passing lowrider. "Cut the shit, Vic. Or whatever the hell your name is. Wire the money back."
Now.
She laughed then, a sound like breaking glass, and swiveled, eyes locking on mine with that predatory gleam. Stella Hargrove. The fixer. Always cleaning up after the boys. She slid off the rail, sauntering inside, hips swaying like a pendulum counting down. Up close, she was flawless, tan skin, red lips curved in mockery. "You think this is about the cash?"
Please.
"That's just the garnish." Ethan lunged, grabbing her arm. "You bitch. You married me for this?" Vanished like some cheap con. She wrenched free, but not before I saw the bruise blooming under her sleeve, faded yellow, like a secret bruise of her own. "Cheap?"
Oh.
"Ethan, you're the one who begged me to sign those papers. Trust me, baby. We're forever." Her voice dripped sarcasm, but her eyes flicked to me, sharp as switchblades. "Ask your sister about forever. Ask her about Danny Russo. Or better yet, ask her why I really said yes." The room tilted. Ethan's face drained white. "What do you mean?" Victoria circled us like a shark in chummed waters, trailing fingers over the laptop. With a click, she pulled up files, scans of old police reports, wire transfers, even a grainy video time-stamped 5 years back. Me, dragging a weighted duffel to the dock's edge under cover of night. "Your big sis here? She's the reason your family's empire is ash. Covered for daddy's debts by offing Russo. And you, sweet Ethan? You were next on his list." But Stella played hero. Sank him.
For you.
Lies?
No. Truth.
Twisted into barbs. I'd done it for the family, for him. But hearing it from her lips, it sounded like madness. Ethan staggered back, staring at me like I'd grown horns.
Stell.
"Is this?" "Shut up," I snarled at her, hand inching toward the gun. "You don't get to spin this. You used him. Used us. Used." She stepped closer, breath minty, with orange juice and venom. "Your brother put hands on me."
Stella.
Bruises that makeup couldn't hide. "And your dad?" He knew about the yacht, knew Ethan was coked up, knew it was manslaughter. Paid me off to keep quiet when I interned at his firm. 50 grand to bury the truth. I took it then. But when Ethan proposed, I saw my out. Marry and
Bleeding dry.
expose the rot. Ethan's world cracked.
I
don't. Stell. Did I? The flip. Her words landed like hooks, reeling him in. Antagonist? Or avenger? She wasn't scheming for sport. She was scorched earth, burning us for our sins. Controversial as hell. Did she deserve the revenge? Or was she just another monster in heels? I drew the gun then. the metal cold against my palm. Give me one reason not to end this balcony dive for real. She smiled, unblinking. Because you're just like me.
Stella.
Protecting the wrong blood. Shoot. And you bury another body.
Don't.
And I walk with the truth. The standoff stretched. Miami's heat pressing in like Judgment Day. Ethan whimpered, sinking to his knees. And in that moment, as sirens wailed distant from some Copacabana club brawl, I made the call that would split us forever. The trigger pulled smooth, but I aimed wide into the balcony rail. Sparks flying like 4th of July gone wrong.
Victoria flinched.
Mimosa shattering on the tile. But she didn't scream. No. She laughed again. Wilder this time. As if I'd just handed her the winning ticket. Ethan scrambled back, eyes wide with the horror of realization. His savior was the executioner. His betrayer the mirror. See, she gasped, wiping shards from her thigh. A thin line of blood welling. First crimson in this farce. You're all bark.
Stella.
Just like Daddy. Threats and bluster. But when it counts, you fold. Fuck you, I spat. Gun steady now. Pointed at her chest. The laptop screen glowed behind her. That damning video looping silent. My silhouette heaving the bag. Splash echoing in my skull. How had she gotten it? Hidden cam? A mole in the family? Kowalski's voice crackled in my earpiece then, forgotten in the heat. Boss.
PD en route.
Anonymous call. She's baiting you. Too late. Ethan rose, face twisted in a mask of rage and ruin. You knew about the yacht? All this time? He turned on me, fists clenched. Stell, why didn't you say? I thought. God. I thought it was just a blur. Because you were a kid, I roared, voice cracking like cheap thunder. 17. High as a kite. Mom dead because of your stupid ass. Dad made me promise. Fix it.
Stella.
Keep him clean. So I did. Russo came sniffing after, waving that debt like a noose. I ended it. For us. Victoria watched, arms crossed, the bruise on her arm peeking like a taunt. Noble. But here's the kicker. I was there that night.
2.
Intern gig turned babysitter when your dad got wind of the crash. Saw Ethan peel out. Saw the wreck. He hit Mom's yacht, collided. Yeah. But it was him. Manslaughter at best. Murder if the coke's factored. Dad paid me hush money, but I kept the footage. Leverage. Ethan lunged at her, but I caught him. The gun barrel cold against his temple for a split second. Instinct, not intent. Don't, I hissed. She's lying. Playing us. Am I?
Victoria countered.
Pulling a phone from her bikini top, tiny, waterproof. Devil's confetti. She hit play. And there it was, dashboard cam from Dad's Bentley. Parked hidden on the beach road.
Ethan.
Wild-eyed. Swerving into the channel. The sickening crunch of fiberglass on fiberglass. Mom's scream cut short by static. Your brother's the reason she's gone. Not some phantom driver. The room spun. Miami's skyline mocking us through the glass. Freedom for some. Cage for the guilty. Sirens grew louder. Blues flashing up Collins Avenue like veins pulsing. Kowalski. 30 seconds. Abort. But Ethan broke first. He shoved me off, tears streaming, and charged Victoria. Not with fists, with desperation.
Please. I didn't mean.
Marry me for real? We can fix this. Money's yours.
Just.
Stay. She sidestepped. Pity flickering real? Feigned. Before hardening.
Fix?
Like Stella fixed Russo?
No.
Ethan. This family's poison. I'm the antidote. I fired again. Warning shot into the ceiling. Plaster dust snowing down. Enough. Transfer the funds.
Now.
Or I swear. Or what? Add me to your river tally? She tapped the laptop. Fingers flying. Not reversing, uploading.
To what? WikiLeaks?
A dark web forum? TikTok.
Stella.
Cops love cold cases. Especially ones starring hotshot lawyers. The door burst then SWAT in black. Kowalski's betrayal or her trap. Didn't matter. NYPD. Hands up. Chaos erupted. Ethan dove for cover behind the couch, wailing like a banshee. Victoria raised her hands slow, that smile never fading, as if this was checkmate. I dropped the gun, palms skyward, but my mind raced. Flip it. User flip. Officers. She's the thief. Ran off with my brother's inheritance. Check the accounts. The lead SWAT, buzz cut. Eyes like flint, cuffed us all. Zip ties, biting wrists. Save it for the station. We got a tip on a homicide cover-up.
Russo. 20.
And this. He nodded at Victoria's phone. Manslaughter footage. Looks like a family reunion from hell. In the squad car. Ethan beside me. Handcuffs linking us like Siamese sins. He whispered.
Stell. I'm sorry.
For everything. I met his gaze. The city lights streaking past like accusations.
Me too.
But this ain't over. Victoria rode in the lead car. Head high. The queen who toppled kings. Schemer? Victim? The line blurred. And in that gray, I plotted my countermove. Revenge wasn't a shot in the dark. It was a slow bleed. And I'd drain her dry. Interrogation was a fluorescent nightmare. Mirrored glass. Coffee that tasted like regret. A detective named Ruiz with a mustache like a 70s porn star and questions sharper than switchblades. MS. Hargrove. Walk us through the river dive. Witnesses place you at the docks. Russo's widow's been waiting 5 years for closure. I leaned back in the metal chair. Chains rattling. Channeling every law and order rerun I'd binged. Self-defense. He jumped me over Dad's debts. I fought back. He slipped. End of story.
Ruiz es Norted.
Sliding photos across, autopsy shots. Blurred but brutal. Slipped with a crushed skull and ankles bound? Try again. Across the hall. Through the one-way glass I'd spotted earlier. Victoria sat prim in her own box. Spinning yarns to a fed. No makeup smears. No hysterics, just calm recitation. Abuse. Detective. Ethan's charming till the doors close. Bruises.
Threats.
I married for the out. But when I saw the files, it was karma.
Karma.
The word stuck like gum on hot pavement. Was she right? Ethan's rages. I'd seen flashes. Bar fights escalating. That time he put a fist through our Hamptons guest house wall after a deal soured. But murder?
No.
Yet doubt wormed in. Courtesy of her seeds. Ethan cracked first. They brought him in after 2 hours. Pale as milk. Spilling like a punctured vein. It was me. The yacht.
Coke. Yeah.
But Stell covered. She always does. Sobs racked him. The golden boy reduced to rubble. Victoria. She found out. Blackmailed me into the marriage. Said she'd go public unless I gave her access. Ruiz's eyes lit. Jackpot. So, she coerced the transfers? Extortion. Ethan nodded, but his glance my way screamed flip. Half-truth. Half-hangover. Protecting me? Or selling us both? By dawn, bail was posted, anonymously, via a Hargrove Trust loophole I'd buried deep. Kowalski met us outside the station. Cigarette dangling. Face etched with apology. She played me.
Stell.
Slipped me a fake trail. But I got something, her real handler. Montreal Syndicate. Old ties to your dad's crew. She's not rogue, she's their mole. Been bleeding families like yours for years. We holed up in a Fleabag motel off the Tamiami Trail, Everglades humidity seeping through cracked AC. Gators grunting in the swamp beyond like nature's jury. Ethan paced. Chain-smoking camels. His wedding ring twisted off and hurled into the night. We get her back.
Stell.
Make her pay.
Pay.
The word hung heavy.
But how?
Cops had the footage. The tip, enough for charges if they connected dots. And Victoria? She'd lawyered up fast. Some shark from Miami's underbelly. Painting herself the damsel. Controversial queen. Flipping victim to villain with every statement. I cracked a warm beer, plotting on a legal pad under the motel's piss-yellow lamp. Step 1. Discredit her. Dig into her past. Juvie fraud was child's play. What about adult scores? Kowalski hacked her emails overnight. Correspondence with a ghost account. Le Fantôme. Wiring instructions. Kill orders veiled as collections. Russo? She greenlit him. Years back. When Dad stiffed the syndicate. Revenge for her own, her father. A low-level enforcer. Suicided after a similar skim. Twist. She wasn't avenging. She was perpetuating. Cycle of blood. American dream gone mobster. We hit her where it hurts, I told Ethan at midnight. Mosquitoes droning like doubts. The money trail. Reverse the wires. Freeze assets.
Then.
Personal. He nodded. Fire rekindling. But as he crashed on the lumpy bed, I slipped out, burner to ear. Called a contact in New York, Lila.
Excoyage.
Dirty as the Gowanus.
Find me d'heure ton Victoire Laurent.
The kind that sticks. By morning, Lila delivered. Photos. Explicit.
Victoria.
Entangled with Le Fantôme, not metaphor.
Flesh.
Hotel rooms in Montreal. Tattoos matching syndicate ink. Blackmail gold. We moved at dusk. Back to the Atlantis. Emptied now. Her scent lingering like a curse. Ethan jimmied the lock. Hands steady for once. Inside. Chaos. Clothes strewn. Safe cracked. A note on the fridge in her script. Catch me if you can. Loves. The game's just warming up, but the laptop left behind, taunting, held the vault. I plugged in Lila's drive, uploaded the pics to her cloud. Anonymous ping to the DA's tip line. Extortionist has mob ties. Evidence attached. Sirens again. But this time, her cage. Or so I thought.
She didn't go down quiet.
Victoria's arrest hit the feeds by noon. TMZ splash. Wall Street heiress nabbed in money launder sting. Mob mistress or frame job. The photos blurred for decency, but the implications stuck like tar. Our runaway bride was syndicate slime. Flipping from victim to villain in 4K. Ethan watched the clip on loop in our motel hideout. a grim satisfaction etching his face. Got her.
Stell.
We did it.
Did we?
The doubt gnawed deeper. A Florida fever dream. Because as the cuffs clicked on her in the grainy body cam footage, her eyes found the lens, found me, through the ether, and mouthed 2 words. Your turn. Kowalski confirmed it over encrypted text. Le Fantôme wasn't just her lover. He was the ghost of Rousseau's crew. Alive and vengeful. They're coming for the whole Hargrove line, he warned. You exposed her. But she's the bait. Syndicates tying up loose ends, Dad's debts. The yacht. The river. We bolted north that night, ditching the Escalade for a stolen Civic, plates swapped in a chop shop off Alligator Alley. The drive was a blur of I-95 taillights and truck-stop diner coffee. Ethan white-knuckling the wheel while I scanned rear views for tails. What now? He asked. Voice small as we crossed into Georgia. Peach stands blurring past like forgotten summers. Cops got her. But us? We're accessories. Manslaughter. Murder. Shut it, I snapped, popping another Adderall to chase the crash.
We lawyer up.
Fight dirty. I've got names, judges, fixers. We bury this deeper than Rousseau. But the flips kept coming. Ethan's phone buzzed at a gas station near Savannah, burner. Unknown number. He answered on speaker. Curiosity killing cats. Her voice, Victoria, sultry even through static. Miss me? Boys? Or should I say, running scared? Ethan nearly swerved off the shoulder. You crazy? You're rotting in county, mob whore exposed. Laughter. Low and laced. Exposed? Darling. That's the play. They think I flipped on you. But Le Fantôme? He's got my back. And your secrets? Uploaded to every dark web corner. Yacht vids viral in the right circles. Cops'll have warrants by breakfast. Bluff.
Or check.
I snatched the phone. What do you want?
Beak.
Absolution? Another payout. You, she purred. Both of you. Meet at the old family spot, Hampton's Dock. Midnight tomorrow. Come alone. Or the footage hit CNN. We talk terms. Family to family.
Click. Dead air.
Ethan slammed the dash. Knuckles splitting. She's insane. Trap City. Or Truth Serum, I countered. Mind racing circuits. The Hamptons, where it started, where Mom sank. Full circle. Poetic as a noose. Controversial, go. And risk the syndicate's welcome wagon.
Bail.
And watch our empire evaporate in scandal vapor. We detoured to Charleston for the night, low-country charm masking our paranoia. Holed up in a shotgun rental with peeling wallpaper and ghosts of its own. Ethan crashed hard. Nightmares muttering her name. I didn't sleep. Instead, I called Lila again. Deep dive on Le Fantôme. Real name. Weaknesses. And Vic, any soft spots?
Kids. Debts.
Her reply came at 3 a.m. Attachments heavy. Pierre Duval. 52. Montreal born. Rose through the ranks after his partner's suicide. Victoria's dad.
Shocker.
Soft spot? None. Except her. She's his Achilles. Lose her, he crumbles. But word is, he's stateside. Watching. Dawn broke sticky. We pushed on through Carolina's piney haze, Virginia's rolling insults, into Jersey's industrial stink. By dusk, we ditched the Civic for a train to Penn Station, blending into the commuter crush like chum in the crowd. Plan B, I told Ethan over stale pretzels in the club car. We go to the dock. But wired. Kowalski tails. Armed. If it's a setup, we flip it, record everything. Feed to feds. He nodded, but his eyes held that shadow again, calculation or cowardice.
Stell.
What if she's right? About me. The yacht. I killed Mom. The confession hung. Raw as roadkill. I gripped his knee. Hard. We all got blood. Doesn't make us monsters. Yet. The Hamptons welcomed us like exiles, summer mansions shuddered against winter's bite. Our family pile, a hulking Victorian on Gin Lane. Windows boarded like blind eyes. We arrived at 11:45 p.m. Fog rolling off the sound like cigarette smoke from a grave. The dock creaked underfoot. Same warped planks where I'd launched Rousseau's anchor. Where Ethan's joyride ended in crunch. She was there. A lone silhouette in moonlight. White coat billowing like a shroud.
No le fantome.
No goons. Just Victoria. Hands in pockets. Face pale but poised. Punctual. I like that. Ethan hung back. Breath ragged. I stepped forward. Recorder humming in my bra. Gun in my boot. Talk. Terms. She smiled. Sad, almost. No terms. Truth. Pierre, le fantôme. He's my father.
Stella.
Not lover. Protector. After you people ruined us. Dad, his partner, took the fall for your father's skim.
Suicide?
Bullshit. Pushed. For insurance. Pierre raised me on revenge tales. When I interned at Hargrove and Associates. Saw the yacht files. It was fate, father. The flip landed like a gut punch. Not mistress, daughter. Avenger by blood. So the marriage? The bruises? Real, she admitted. Sleeve hiking to reveal faded marks, Ethan's. Or Pierre's lessons. Ethan's not evil. Just broken. Like you. Covering sins. I needed in.
To gut the beast.
But I fell. Stupidly. Thought I could save him. Expose the rot. Take the cash.
Run.
Then you pulled that gun in Miami. Force my hand. Ethan emerged from shadows. Voice cracking.
Beak.
I didn't know. About your dad.
Or.
God. The bruises, I'm sorry. Therapy. Whatever. Come back. She shook her head. Tears glinting. Too late. Pierre's coming. For all of us. The footage? Insurance. But I can stop it. Walk away clean if you give me the trust keys. Full control. Let me dismantle it. Pay back the ghosts. Controversial crossroads. Hand her the empire. Absolve our sins? Or fight? Drag everyone down? Sirens distant. Kowalski's signal. But her eyes pleaded. Human for once. I hesitated. The dock groaning like judgment. Then the shot rang out from the treeline.
Victoria yerked.
Crumpling. Red blooming on her coat. Not fake, real. Stark against white.
Pierre emerged.
Ghost no more. Silver fox in black. Pistol smoking. Loose ends.
Ma fille?
Never. Ethan screamed, diving for her. I drew. Firing wild, bullets chewing bark. Pierre ducking into fog. Kowalski burst from the brush too late. Feds in tow. Stella. Down. But the damage. Victoria gasped. Hand to chest. blood-slicking fingers. Tell him. Sorry. Her eyes fluttered.
Dead.
Pierre vanished into night, but not before his whisper on the wind. Your turn next. Fixer. The medics pronounced her at 12:17 a.m., the dock lights harsh as an autopsy slab, casting her face in blue-white pallor. Ethan rocked beside the body, keening like a storm off the Atlantic, raw, guttural, the sound of a soul unmoored.
No.
Vic. Please. Blood soaked his jeans, her head in his lap. That white coat a shroud turned scarlet. Kowalski pulled me aside, breath hot with Marlboros. Feds have a shooter on cams, Duval. Bolting east on 27.
But you?
Witnesses say you fired first. And that recorder?
Gold.
But it'll fry you on the Russo play.
Fry.
The words sizzled in my brain as squad cars lit the night. Neighbors in silk robes gawking from manicured lawns. Ruiz was there, mustache twitching with grim triumph. Hargrove. Again. Manslaughter 2. Conspiracy. Self-defense. I cut in. Wrists zip-tied loose. Voice steady as a judge's gavel. She called us here. Mob hit. Check the logs. He smirked, cuffing tighter.
Oh.
We will. But your brother's prints on her phone? Those uploads? Looks like a lover's quarrel gone postal. Ethan looked up then, eyes hollowed by grief or guilt. I couldn't tell.
Stell.
It was him.
Pierre.
I saw. Lies or loyalty? The flip again, brother turning states. Or shielding, as they loaded Vic's body into the meat wagon. Her phone buzzed in evidence lock. Pierre's number. Text unread. Clean house. Start with the brother. We rode to the station in separate cruisers. Fog horns moaning dirges from the sound. Interrogation redux, Ruiz leaning in, coffee breath assaulting. Talk. Stella. Why'd she call you out here? Payback for the river. I stared at the table's gouges, tracing one with a cuffed thumb, someone's desperation etched permanent. Reconciliation. She wanted out of the life. Pierre found out. Silenced her. Half-truth. Her plea twisted to fit. The recorder backed it, her confession. The doc meet. But Ethan's wail? That painted us frantic. Violent. Across the hall, he spilled selective. Vic told me everything, syndicate. Her dad. Said she'd flip for witness protection if we helped. Then the shot. I froze. Heroic spin. Omitting his rages. The bruises. Protecting her memory? Or us? Bail came at sunrise, Lila's doing. Cash funneled through shells. We reconvened in the penthouse. City waking to scandal headlines. Hargrove air slays runaway bride in mob crossfire. Ethan paced the Persian rugs, popping pills from a crystal vial. Vic stash? We end this.
Stell.
Hunt Pierre. For her. Hunt. The word ignited something primal. A revenge bonfire fed by her blood. Controversial. Avenge the viper who bled us. Or let karma claim its due. No clear right. Her sin stained. But Pierre's bullet made her martyr. Kowalski delivered the war map by noon. Duval's trail snaking through Connecticut backroads. Safe houses dotted like acne on a teen's face. He's wounded pride, not flesh. Lost his ace. But he's got pull, syndicate cleaners inbound. We armed up, illegals from a Brighton Beach contact. Glocks. Suppressors. Vests that hugged like lovers' lies. Drove out in the Ferrari.
Top down.
Wind whipping regrets. First stop, a clam shack in Bridgeport. Intel hub for lowlifes. The owner, a pockmarked relic named Gino. Old data marker. Duval, holed in a warehouse off the Merritt. Old textile mill. Guards.
2.
But he's twitchy, thinks are ghosts. We hit at twilight. Salt air thick with diesel and decay. Ethan covered the alley. Twitchy himself. Gun shaking. I breach solo, lockpick whispering.
Shadows my ally.
Inside. Rusting looms like skeletons. Crates stamped Montreal. Voices echoed. Pierre's accent. Gravel French. That the girl was weak. Like her father. Now the Hargroves, they pay double. Guards patrolled lazy. Cigarettes glowing. I took the first silent zip tie. Chokehold. Zip to the floor. Second spotted me. But Ethan plugged him from the door. Shot muffled, but final. Pierre spun. .45 raised. Face a map of scars and snarls. Fixer. Come to dance. No dance, I said. Gun leveled. Confession time. Vic, your daughter? She wanted out. You clipped her for it. He laughed. Bitter as chicory. Out? Into your web? She called, begged mercy for you worms. Said the boy loved her. Spit flew. Love, after what you did to mine. The flip, not monster. Father scorched. Your partner, Vic's dad, skimmed too.
Dad paid debts.
Fair. Liar. He fired. Bullet grazing my vest. Hot kiss. Ribs screaming. I returned, clipping his shoulder. Ethan rushed in. Gun on Pierre's temple. For Vic, Pierre sagged. Blood sheeting. Do it.
Boy.
Become the beast. Ethan hesitated. Trigger white-knuckled. Controversial mercy. Kill the killer. Or cage him for feds. Sirens wailed. Gino's loose lips? Drop it, I commanded Ethan.
Alive.
He sings. We walk. Pierre smirked through pain. Sing? About the yacht? Your mother's not dead. Fixer. She's alive, in witness protection. Blew the whistle on your dad's whole op. Pierre hit her for a price. Twist like a knife, Mom. Alive? Betrayal squared. Dad's cover. Our grief. All facade. Ethan's face shattered.
No.
Stell. Pierre lunged then. Knife flashing from boot. Sliced Ethan's thigh deep. Crimson spraying. Ethan fired wild. Gut shot. Pierre crumpling. But as Fed stormed, megaphones blaring, Pierre gasped his parting. Tell her. Laurent sends love.
Mom. Alive.
The warehouse raid turned circus, Feds swarming like ants on syrup. K9s snarling at crates. Choppers thumping overhead like migraine drums. Ethan slumped against a loom, thigh tourniquet with his own belt, face ashen as the dust motes dancing in floodlights.
Mom.
Alive? All this time? His voice was a rasp, betrayal fresh as the wound. I knelt, pressing gauze harder, ignoring my own graze, fire ants under skin. If it's true, we find her. But first, we spin this. Kowalski appeared, badge flashing irony, directing cleanup. Good work, Hargrove. Duval's DOA, but he talked syndicate names, enough to torch the network. You're heroes. Sort of. Heroes. The word tasted like ash from a Cuban cigar. As paramedics stretchered Ethan out, Ruiz cornered me under the sodium glare. "You're a quarter from the dock?"
Gold.
Vic's clean, victim of patricide. But Mom? Duval's Babel checks. Protected witness. Relocated post-yacht. Blue Hargrove Sr.'s ops wide. He's rotting in Supermax because of her. Dad framed? Or fitting end? The flips piled like cordwood. Family myth crumbled. Revenge revealed as echo. I nodded numb. Signing statements till dawn. The Merritt Parkway a silver ribbon to nowhere. Back in the city. Ethan healed slow, physical stitches, emotional gashes. We sold the penthouse. Liquidated what trusts Vic hadn't torched. Holed in a Brooklyn brownstone, low profile. Ghosts be damned. Lila tracked Mom, Elena Vasquez now. In a sun-bleached nowhere off the Gulf Coast. Teaching yoga to retirees. Silver streaks in her hair, like war medals. We drove south incognito, me behind the wheel of a rented Prius. Ethan's shotgun. Leg braced. Popping oxy, like confessions. "What do we say?" he muttered as Tampa's sprawl gave way to Siesta Key's lazy palms. "Hi, Mom? Sorry we mourned you dead while burying bodies." "Truth," I said, though it burned tongue. All of it. Her bungalow squatted on a cul-de-sac. Hibiscus blooming riotous. Wind chimes tinkling lies. She answered the door in linen pants and a tank. Eyes widening, Hargrove blues. Faded but fierce. "Stella?
Ethan? God.
Hug first, bone crushing. Salt sprayed. Inside. Seashell mobiles. Herbal tea steaming. Photos of strangers, new life. Unscarred. I couldn't come back, she explained over chamomile. Voice steady as tide. Your father. The money laundering. The threats. The yacht? I saw it all. Ethan's crash. The cover-up. Went to feds. Testified. They faked my death for protection.
Pierre?
He smuggled me out. For old time's sake. His partner's girl, Victoria, was like a daughter to me in hiding letters. Layers peeled, Mom and Pierre. Allies in shadows.
Vic.
The bridge. She tried to end it, Mom said. Tears carving tracks. Called me before the dock. Said she loved Ethan. Wanted clean. I told her run. Too late. Ethan broke then, sobbing into palms. The bruises.
I'm sorry.
Therapy now. Clean. She held him, rocking. We all erred. Baby. No one's pure.
Me?
I sat silent. The fixer fixed. Russo's anchor. Dad's empire. Props in a play scripted by survival. Controversial absolution. Forgive the dead. The living? Or carry the weight eternal. Weeks blurred. Family therapy in beachside clinics. Feds closing books, syndicate gutted. Us witnesses with deals. Ethan proposed to a barista in Key West simple. Sand toes. No trusts.
I
hung my shingle solo. Pro bono for runaways. Ghosts of Vic guiding. But the twist lingered. Debate fodder over bonfire beers. Was Vic villain or victim? Schemer slain by her own blood. Or catalyst cracking our cage? Pierre's bullet. Mercy kill or madness? Mom's return. Blessing or bomb? Unearthing graves? One night. Stars pricking the gulf like accusations. Ethan cornered me on the porch.
Stell.
That warehouse shot. You saved me. But Pierre, his eyes. At the end.
He knew about Mom.
Whispered it like a gift.
Gift.
or grenade. I sipped bourbon. Waves crashing judgment. Maybe. Or maybe he flipped one last time. Truth is weapon. He nodded. Ring glinting, new start. Either way. Thanks. For everything. I clinked his glass. But inside, the river murmured, secrets sink, but ghosts float. Revenge? A circle. No end. Happy? Tragic? You decide. In the end, we scattered Vic's ashes, unclaimed from evidence, off that Hampton's dock at dawn. Fog lifted slow, sun gilding the water gold. To loose ends, Ethan toasted. To flips. To family, fractured but floating. And as the tide pulled her away, I felt it. Not closure, but a controversial piece. The kind that sparks bar fights and late-night what-ifs.
Americane à apple pie à la mode sweet.
Messy. Eternally debated.